Hello, you retards and fuckheads, and welcome to another exciting edition of my show. This show is called News of the Day, and that's when I take stories that are going in the news cycle, popular in the news cycle, and I put a biblical spin on them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What can you do, right? I don't control the algorithms. Anyway, you know, I have a friend, and he's a white supremacist. And the weird thing about his white supremacy is that he's not white. He's actually only half white. He's half white and he's half Asian. And, when you marry a Korean or a Korean and a white person gets together, certain traits can emerge. They can look more Korean or they can look less Korean, depending on various factors, whatever. It's all science. I don't know anything about science or biology. I don't know anything about biology. He looks Asian. He's got the black hair and the black eyes, and his skin's just a little bit whiter than the normal Asian. And I say to him, I said, look, it's kind of odd that you're a white supremacist since you're not white. Wouldn't you be better served joining an Asian hate group? A group that hates white people or black people based on your Asian ethnic heritage. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm a white supremacist. And, he's always, he loves to badmouth the Jews, even though he's never met a Jew. Right? He's always badmouthing the Jews. And I say to him, look, man, what's going on in the world today is a civil war between white people. The Jews have nothing to do with it. They're just being used as pawns in this war between whitey. And that brings me to my first story about what's going on in England. Right? The white globalists versus the white nationalists. Right? So in England, 3 little girls were killed by a Rwandan from Wales. His parents moved from Rwanda to Wales, and he was born in Wales. And he just went crazy one day, went to a little kid's birthday party and started stabbing all the children, and 3 of them died. Really a shame. And what happened is a bunch of English people got very upset on the right and started causing a havoc because they think England should be for the English, not just the English as in like you're born in England. The English is in like you're a white dude and you hail from here and that kind of thing. And the globalists are more like into the whole open borders kind of thing. Hey, England's not just for the English. And what does it mean to be English? Yada, yada, yada. So they got boat people coming to England now, and the place is filled with all kinds of people. Multicultural kind of a deal. And like I said, it's a civil war between white progressives, the globalists, and white nationalists. The ones who don't believe in open borders, they believe in national identity. And, the Jews have nothing to do with it. And that brings me to my second story. And this is about the threat Iran is now posing to Israel. Not only Iran, Erdogan in Turkey's been saying some stuff too about how he might have to come and help the Palestinians, right? And there's no way Israel by itself could fend off an Iranian attack. They have 500,000 men in their army when you don't count Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis in Yemen. If you count those, it's close to 1 million guys. And Turkey, if they were coming together, they'd wipe Israel right off the map. So Israel needs America. Without America, there is no Israel. And that's why a lot of the Jews are crapping in their pants right now, because they're looking at this stuff going on in colleges in America with all these protesters saying free Palestine and the rest of it. Because as soon as that support drops, there'll be no more Israel. It'll be long gone. Now, personally, I support Israel because I guess you could say I'm a born again Christian. I believe that Jesus Christ is going to come back, and when he does come back, it'll be in Jerusalem. So it's hard to come back if there is no Jerusalem, right? Where's it going to go? So yeah, I support Israel. But the point I was saying to my white supremacist friend, who's not a white person, is that, you're getting caught up in this war between nationalists and globalists, and it's a white person war, and it really has nothing to do with you. Your best thing to do is just to bow out of it. He's not going to listen, right? He in his up mind, he's white, even though he doesn't look white. So it's just a strange situation. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. And it deals with the shooter, the one who tried to blow off Orange Donald's head. Right? And it turns out this kid had scored a 1500 on his PSAT, I think, which puts him like in the top 0.5% of the world. And, he was obviously intellectually gifted. Crooks is his name, right? Thomas Crooks. And he had these amazing college scores, entrance scores. And it's really bizarre because he just ended up going to community college. I guess he fell through the cracks. I have no clue, But 1500 on a PSAT, that's outstanding. That's just an unbelievable score. My youngest son took his PSAT. I think he scored like a 1280, right? It's no 1500. I don't complain because I'm not a brilliant guy either. Watching these videos, you can tell I'm about as smart as a dolphin. So anyway, there's a big sense of mystery about this whole thing. Why would a kid with a 1500 on an PSAT score, end up working at a nursing home for $15 an hour? You tell me. I don't get it, And he had overseas accounts, and something just still doesn't add up to me. But we'll never find out. Just like we never found out about Kennedy, and they still have most of those files as top secret. And it's a sham that we actually live in a democracy, because if it is a democracy, it's just a facsimile of a democracy, right? And we all know that. And my last story of the day is Tampon Tim Walz. He's the new vice presidential candidate. He is a real loon who put tampons in the boys' restrooms in all the public schools. He didn't call the National Guard while the BLM rioters and the Antifa thugs were burning down Minneapolis. His wife opened the windows because she wanted to smell the burning smell, I guess, of the city on fire. To her it was justice, right? This kind of thing. I mean, a real loon. Open borders, the whole 9 yards. But here's the thing. I really think they're going to win. Unless she has like one of these debate performances where she just goes blank, then I think they really have a good shot of winning. I thought Joe Biden had a good shot of winning because America seems to me, and again, I've only been there for 6 weeks in the last 15 years. The last time I went back was a year and a half ago. for 6 weeks. Yeah, I live in Asia. My point is that I think America has changed. Like when I went back just to go to Chick-fil-A with my two sons, it was $50. I'm like, $50 for Chick-fil-A? Anyway, it just seems like it's changed, and I don't think is there any coming back from this? I don't think so. And I hate to I sound so anti-patriotic, but I think we're done as a nation. I mean, I don't think we're going to just implode. Well, implode with a capital I. I think we'll still be around. It's just not going to, there was a time, I think some economists were saying between 1948 and 1973, the middle class was generating so much wealth. Just accumulating so much wealth, really living the American dream. And I just don't see it going back to that. It's kind of a rest in peace moment. So yeah, I do think Tim and Kamala will end up in the White House, but I hope not. It's definitely starting to look that way. Anywho, I'm done because I'm at 11 minutes. Putting a biblical spin. When you read the Epistle Romans by Paul, he talks about when God finally has had enough of a nation and he just leaves them to their own devices. He said, I ain't putting up with this anymore. And you see it all throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament. Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah is a good example. When God says, I don't know these people. These people are nuts. I'm done with them. Let the Babylonians have them. And you see it again, like I said, in the epistle, the Romans epistle. So I think that's what's happened to America. I think God has finally said, something? They want all this. They want their tampons in the bathroom and their ninth abortion in the 9th month and all this kind of stuff. Let them have it. I'm out of here. I think that's what's happening to America. And it's downhill from here. But what do I know? I'm just an old man. Maybe I'm bitter, Anyway, I got to go. But I wanted to say something to the people who subscribe to my channel. Thank you. And if you like this video, press like. And if you want to become a subscriber, press subscribe. God bless you all. And I hope you're all safe and happy wherever you are. Bye-bye.